What's up, survivors? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Zero City and strength versus power. Make sure you watch all the way through the video, as I will be giving details for a crypto coin giveaway courtesy of the official Facebook page. Please check out my social links and let's get into the video. Just before that, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, leave a comment and share with your friends. Thanks. So just before I start, I just want to give a quick shout out to Santransarm and QC Runner, who have both already made videos on this subject. Santransarm is more about hustle castle, with some very interesting concepts in his video. I'll put the link in the description below. Please check them out. They're both really good. So strength versus power is essentially a theoretical discussion on how efficient your power is. The number at the bottom of the screen here, 2.1 million, that is my historic power. That is the highest my power has been in any deployment outside of clan wars and friendly duels, that sort of thing. And it's really important because the game will scale certain game modes like railroad and bunker based on your power. So it's very important that you make sure your power is efficient, or as Santransarm calls it, compact. You don't want to inflate your power because it's only going to match you against harder opponents. So one of the major issues with strength versus power is anytime we do a big upgrade, your command center, increasing your barracks or training your fighters, we've got that real urge just to throw on as much the best stuff that we think we've got as possible. And what that's going to do is that's going to boost your power right up and essentially make efficiency really difficult, because that historic power is going to go up with it and then it can't be suppressed afterwards. So it's really important to try and plan ahead. Now I've got my fighter here, he's a level 69. His name is Like and Sub, and his base power is 25,000. Now we're gonna make this guy a chemist, right? And we're gonna throw on this grenade because rangers are really strong at the moment. So we want to make sure that we've got something that can do damage directly to those rangers. And that legendary grenade is worth roughly 50,000 power. But what I should have done is checked, because if I come down here, I've got this epic weapon which is 4 levels lower. But if you look, the legendary one's doing like 9,000 damage, and this one is also doing about 9,000 damage. If I equip the epic, we can see that power drops down to 61,000. So for the same amount of damage, we're just bringing that power down. Another thing that is more specific to chemists, but you've got to watch it with everything, is the type of secondary items we put on: electronics, devices, and bracelets. With a chemist, generally speaking, you do not want to put a bracelet on. Now, this guy's power has gone up by about 20,000, and that damage is not going to do much. Chemists attack very slowly, so the amount of damage that they do is going to be very low, unless you're using one of these types of grenades. But even so, the damage done by the grenade ability is by chemical knowledge, not chemical damage. Another area where we can add really high amounts of power but at the cost of efficiency is multi-purpose weapons. Now again, this is the kind of thing where it seems like, yes, epic legendary multi-purpose weapons, chuck them on. You've got to be really careful with what the multi-purpose weapon does and what the trigger is. So we're using our chemist here, and let's chuck on this one, right? So we're going from 60,000 up to 90,000, but on a chemist it's completely pointless. I know that sounds obvious, but to some people, they're going to see that it increases damage and think that that's going to make the chemist weapon better. It's not. Other things we want to try and avoid. So let's say this, right? So let's say we want our chemist to be able to slow down other people from using their abilities. You've got to look at the trigger once in a while when an enemy unit is reanimated. If your enemy does not use any reanimation, this is never going to trigger. Okay? So what, 85,000. So 25,000 power completely wasted if you don't have enemy reanimation. When we're equipping our fighters, it's always important from CC 8 and above to check the chip slots that the individual items have, because they can give us really great boosts. And you can kind of tinker with them to specialize your units. For example, you might want to use an assassin, so on your tank you might want damage and things like that. Now this sheet that I've got here, there's the source link there. I'll put that in the description below as well. This is something that I didn't know about until a few months ago, and what we need to look at here are what I like to call threshold based attributes. So with things like health and damage, the higher that number is, the higher that is, full stop. With crit, dodge, armor, and here they call it magic armor, chemistry armor, same thing. You have to reach a certain threshold before you're getting a percentage increase or reduction. So for example, let's look at armor. At level 70, you need to hit around 4,000 defense before you're getting a 15% reduction in the damage done. So when it comes to things like chips, you don't want to just throw on a load of, say, defense chips, right? You need to know beforehand whether you're going to hit that threshold to make it worthwhile. Now, I'm not saying you have to get 15%, but if you, say for example, you put on all your chips and you get to 2,480 defense, your power is going to be that much higher without hitting that 10% threshold to make it worthwhile. Continuing the discussion on chips, we want to look at the types of tier of the chips that we're using. This spreadsheet is for Hustle Castle, done by Santranzone. Again, please check out his videos. And what it does is tells us the efficiency of each type of chip and the increase in attribute we're getting for power. And based on that ratio, level 1 common chip is the most efficient use of power, but you're not going to get high sort of attributes that you want for it. I try and avoid crit and dodge. I only use defense chips if I know that they're going to hit those thresholds that we just spoke about. And you want to make sure that you use relevant chips for your fighters. So for your tanks, you want health and those defenses. Rangers, you want damage. Chemists, obviously, you want chem knowledge. On my squad, I'm not saying this is the only right answer. On my squad, I try to stick to epic and above, which sounds silly because we can see here that epic is actually quite efficient, really. The reason I use epics is because I'm just trying to get to legendary. We can see that the level 1 legendary is pretty good. So I'm getting those epic chips on. I'm increasing them as quickly as possible and then trying to merge them. That's been my plan so far. What I see a lot of the time is if I'm in the arena or something and I find a squad that's got more power than me, that will be because they've got like a lot of uncommon or rare chips just put on. You know, they're maxing out dodge, they're maxing out crit, everything. They're just throwing them on. And that's putting their power up. The efficiency is really low, and those are the kinds of fights that I target where I can generally play up against them. So here we are in the command center with my good friend Commander Comments, ? And he is adding power to our squad too, so we need to make sure that he is efficient. Now his base power is 322,000, and we need to make sure that the armaments that we put on and the triggers that we put on are going to enhance our squad and work well with our squad. So for example, we want to avoid things like this, the 2-button adapter, and this is giving our chemists a 5% chance, that's 1 in 20 chance of using their weapon immediately. It sounds like a wonderful idea, but realistically your chemist is going to use their ability maybe 2, maybe 3 times at most. So a 1 in 20 on the back of that is not very good. It's only 9,600 power, but again, these things all add up. So be careful, choose wisely, and make sure that your commander is focused on the type of squad that you're deploying. Giveaway time now, and thanks to the generosity of the official Facebook page, I've got 250 coins to give to 5 lucky winners. All you have to do to enter is leave a comment below. I will use a random comment selector to pick the winners, and I will leave entries open for 1 week. After that, I will reply to the winners' comments and let them know that they've won and ask for your in-game name and in-game number. To make this a little bit easier, try and join my social channels, that way I can send out a general notification. Good luck! Well, that's going to wrap this one up. Thanks very much for watching. Please click and like and all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.